Welcome, everyone. Happy 4th of July. So, yesterday we had 5 games, and this was one of them. And you'd think that this would have been a real, match between two really good teams. And, they played not too long ago, and the Aces ended up pulling out a win against the Fever. But this game was way different. It was like a spaceship came down and beamed in for 3 or 4 of the Aces players. Like Jackie Young, Jewel Lloyd, Chelsea Gray just were not there. Someone else was in their uniforms. That's my best explanation for what I saw. Just, but mostly the Aces just had zero team defense. They were letting people drive by them, and then they just kind of, whoop, ole, and no help from anybody else inside. There was no rotation. There was no nothing. And it just didn't change at all. You'd think, okay, all right, we screwed that up in the first quarter. Let's make some changes, and didn't happen. Just didn't happen. It was like I got a glimpse of Chelsea Gray right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Like, she looked like herself. But then the game was so out of hand that Becky Hammond took her out of the game. It was just bizarre. Like, maybe they were tired, maybe, I don't know. But, the congratulations to the Fever. Just because the Aces didn't show up, the Fever definitely did. They had a really good performance by Kelsey Mitchell. And then, it's funny, Natasha Howard has been playing so well. She played really well in the Commissioner's Cup game, and she was really good in the first half in this one. I don't even count the second half because they were so far ahead. I mean, it was 22-point lead at halftime, I think. But Natasha Howard has really been playing well the last couple of games. I hope she keeps that up for them. For the Fever, because they'll need that down the stretch. They definitely are going to need it. They can't just because the games that they've lost, they've just relied on Boston, and she can only just like A'ja Wilson, she can only do so much. No one player is going to beat a team of balanced and just a good balanced attack from another team. You can't do it with one player. I don't care how good you are. So, the Fever, let's see here. Let me pull up some things. So, the score in the first quarter was 21-14. They never, unless it was like the first couple baskets, the Fever never relinquished the lead. They were up 21-14 in the first, 25-10 in the second. Then, the Aces actually outscored them in the third by 1 point, 23-22. And then, Indiana outscored them again, 13-7 in the fourth. So now the Indiana Fever is 9-8, and the Aces are 8-9. The Fever outscored the Aces 38-20 in the paint, and let's see what else. Biggest lead was 27 points. That was like the final score. Turnovers were 19-14. The Aces had 19. The points off turnovers were similar, so that wasn't a big deal. So, like I said, very good game from Kelsey Mitchell. She had 25 points. Very nice. She shot 50% from the field and then 66% from 3 points. So, good for Kelsey. That was a good game for her. Boston, another good game for her. She had 20 points. She was 9 for 13, 70%, 2 for 2 from the foul line. And then Natasha Howard had 11, and Lexi Hull had 7. One thing I've noticed, Lexi Hull is progressively getting more and more confident, it seems. She's playing, she's always been like a hustler, and, that part of her. But her shooting is, it's something that's been progressively getting better and better. Like, you could see early on in her career with the Fever, she was hesitant to shoot. And as time has been going on, she's been getting more and more confident in actually taking a shot. She was looking more towards just setting picks and then hustling around the court and getting a rebound and maybe putting something back up that way or getting a steal. But she's actually, you can see she's actually looking, looking for her shot, which that's nice to see. Avery McDonald had a good game. She had 8 points. She had 7 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 turnovers. So good game for Ari. Not terrific stats or anything, but, that's what you need your point guards to do. Sophie Cunningham had 2. Timpson, she got some good minutes in this game. It would be good for them to get her more and more playing time as the season goes on, because they could very well need her down the stretch. She had 14 minutes, and then Sydney Colson had 6 points, 3 assists. So that was pretty much for the Fever. And they, regardless of how the Aces were playing, they took advantage and they just, they played their game. They out-hustled them for loose balls. And they were, they just played better. Like, I'm looking at the shooting percentages here for the Aces. And there's a lot of 1-fers. Like 1 for 6, 1 for 7, 2 for 9, 0 for 2, 0 for 3, 1 for 3, 1 for 6, 1 for 10. That's not going to win you any games. There are single digits, and then A'ja Wilson. And A'ja Wilson didn't even play that great. I mean, she had 29 points, but it was like Jewel Lloyd took 3 shots. Chelsea Gray took 3 shots. Nye took 5. Jackie Young, most of those were early. She took 9. But it was almost like everybody else didn't even want to shoot the ball, and they were just feeding A'ja. And then she missed a bunch of shots. I mean, she was only 9 for 18. I mean, that's 50%, but a lot of hers are right under the basket or really close to the basket. Dana Evans was 1 for 10. But you're not going to even be close with shooting percentages like that. So anyway, this was a blowout, 81-54 Fever. Congratulations. They are now 9-8, and Vegas is 8-9. So there's not really much more to say about this. I hope the Vegas Aces show up in their next game, or there's going to be some changes afoot, I would imagine. So, okay, we'll see you next time.